Hello. Testing. Okay, mic gain is up. How you doing, guys? Figured I'd test it with a little faster settings and see how that goes. I didn't up the resolution at all, but I upped the bit rate and the frames. I don't know what's up with these freaking notifications. I get like 4 and 5 people in here. I went from getting 100 people to 4 or 5. Low volume, huh? How's that? Turn the mic gain up. I'm also not talking real loud, but I don't hear myself very well, so I try not to talk loud. Yeah, Sixth Estate. Albert, hey man, how you been? Yeah, it's just weird, man. Like I said, I was getting like 100 people in my stream, and now I get a few. And I checked before I went live. Nobody else was live. Yeah, I just pretty much doubled the mic gain. It's almost maxed out now. Oh, I've been pretty crappy, Albert, but you know, that's how it is. Hey, Scooter. Yeah, I don't know why, Albert. I mean, it's not like I haven't streamed. It's just all of a sudden YouTube's been ghosting me. People generally come across my stream when they see it in the list. Where before, like I said, I would go live and within seconds I would have 30 or 40 people in here. And within like 5 or 10 minutes I'd have 100 people. Now I have 4. I don't know why they're ghosting me now, but they are. My friend's outside in the cold working on his truck. He has to replace the whole front hub assembly. The background noise is the fan. Normally the filter catches it, but I guess not. That's the only background noise is the fan. He keeps it pretty warm and humid in here because he's got lizards, so I gotta have the fan going. I had a filter that was catching the fan before, but I don't know why it's not now. I guess I'll have to redo the filter. So, how you guys doing, I guess? Sixth Estate. Well, I don't know what else it would be. Because that's the only other noise here. Well, at least the stream seems to be holding at these settings so far. Last time I tried it at these settings, it shit all over itself. This is probably YouTube telling me that I'm live. I swear, people wait till I'm freaking live and then they decide to. Oh, figures, Albert, you bum. How are you guys doing? Those of you that are in here, and you know, guys, now they do. YouTube has super stick. Yeah, I know it was just Gen T, but I'm just saying. But YouTube has super chat stickers now. I thought that was pretty interesting. I saw somebody give one to Furry. It was like a dancing fox or something. It's ridiculous because I had enough super chats to get paid because you have to break that $100 mark. I had enough super chats to get paid, and then a certain person retracted their super chats, and I verified this with YouTube. And so because they retracted those super chats, I didn't get the money. I hate that $100 limit stuff. You should just get whatever you have. Figures, now you're leaving too, see? Yeah, but, you know, it's kind of a thing going around now, people retracting their super chats. They post them just to look cool, you know, they want people to slap them on the back and say good job, and then they retract them. And no, I'm not pointing fingers because it's not worth the hassle. It's just one of those things. If you don't want to give it to somebody, don't give it to them. Okay, well, this tells me there's 9 people in here. Well, come on, people, talk. Somebody just sent me a suggestion on how to attract more viewers. Thought it was pretty funny. I don't have Zoom going, so I can't have them here that way. Yeah, it kind of sucks because Zoom was in my mom's name because they took the money out of her account. We used her account for everything. And now that they've locked her account because it's got to go into an estate account and blah, blah, blah. So now they don't get their money. So now I don't have Zoom. Yeah, James Jacobson, you're a freaking bum, man. I'm dying for some venison. Figured it was a Saturday, you know? More people should be in here. Yeah, I know, I love venison jerky. I can't eat it like I used to, but man, venison's just an all-around better tasting meat. Still got them damn people leaving all these ridiculous comments. I swear I should make a video compilation of all the dumb comments my videos get. Yeah, they're lean, but it's also just the meat, you know. Wild deer tend to eat a lot of nuts and berries and stuff, so, you know, it makes the meat taste better. Elk is good. I like elk. I love wild boar. Yeah, I wonder if people would watch it, you know, just a video of like some music playing with some ridiculous comments just kind of going by on the screen. Yeah, Scooter, he's at his property right now hunting. He texted me this morning he was going out. I wish I had the money to go hunting. Man, get a deer, just process it out. That's like meat for the whole winter. You know, Tex Bud, you're probably right. That would explain a lot. Nobody's got any plans this weekend? Anything fun to talk about or something? This is killing me how few people are in here. Just amazing. But that happened with my video too, my military tribute video. It got like, last I looked at it, it didn't even have 100 views. Like, what the hell is that? But yet, my older videos, a couple of my compilations, man, they're getting, you know, upwards of 1,000 views a day. Sometimes more. I mean, it's gone up by, well, geez, almost 16,000 views now in the last less than 2 weeks. I mean, that doesn't equate to a lot, but it's still, you know, that video sat pretty much idle for the better part of a year. It only got 14,000 views in a year. And now it's pushing 30,000. Now, have fun with all your lunches and your outings. I mean, I'm still dealing with my own issues and living situation. Wonder if it'll let me, trying to see if it'll let me see what them silly stickers are all about, but I don't think they will. Yeah, no kidding, Sixth Estate. It is, man. But until I come up with that money, that's what it is. Still trying to pick up some commissions for some knife or some video work or whatever. Anything I could do. I kind of miss the old days when I could work on vehicles and stuff for people. Even now, like I said, my buddy's out there doing his hub assembly right now, and it's used to be I could have that done in an hour or two. Now, forget it. Interesting. I just noticed something about the stream. Oh, it does. Oh, there it is. Send animated message. Yes, it does work. There is no plan, really. I mean, it's rent the room and, establish myself here until I get disability going and that and just get my life back on track. It's gonna take time, but in the meantime, I gotta make it to that point. So that's the hard part, I already sold pretty much anything of value that I had. It won't load. What do you mean it won't load? See, I'm not seeing Landlady. There's no telling when that could be. It could take another 6 months. It could take a year. Super chats and that are still enabled, so I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Oh, interesting. All I could say is like try from a different device or something. I don't know, because it wasn't even showing up on my phone or my screen, my monitor at all. But when I saw it on my phone, it showed it. Yeah, that works. Thank you, by the way. That's weird. I know Furry was able to get one. That's interesting. I wonder why it's doing that. There's testicular, 1, 2. Well, if it lets you 668 hit report bug or whatever, if it has that option there. I mean, I know it's new, but I have seen it work for people. Another thing I noticed that they started doing though was before it would have the super chat icon on my screen, even though it was my stream, and yet it's gone now. Like, I don't see it on there. That's why I checked on my phone, and it shows it on the phone. So that's just odd. Wow, I just dropped by half my viewers. Not that I had many, but now how the hell is it Gen T got 40 something people in her stream? I got 6. That's why I always check first before I go live to see if other people are. I never want to step on other people's streams. Hey, PDF, what's up, man? Yeah, I know, that's all she's been doing lately, I noticed. She does that like twice a day now. She's been having like, between 2 and 6 or 7 people on and, doing like 5 and 6 hour streams. That's crazy. I don't think I could sit here for 6 hours. I'm lucky I make it through a 1 or 2 hour stream. Hey, FCW, what's up, brother? If y'all ain't seen his videos on Mouse, man, you gotta go watch them. They're freaking hilarious. Especially the comment sections. And how is it people keep getting unmodded in my channel? Oh, Pinder. Hey, RAS, what's up, brother? Pinder's out in the woods. He's in my stream from a tree stand. It's okay, Steve. If you gotta pause and shoot a deer, we're okay. Hot tow truck girl. Never heard that one. Nothing wrong with a hot tow truck girl. A woman with a wrench. Hey. Steve, man, James Jacobson's sitting there chopping up a deer right now, making some venison jerky, teasing all of us. Well, Landley, I've never even heard the name before. Hot tow truck girl? Never even seen that name. Yeah, poor dirt farmer is he's like the news anchor of the movement. Like every day he's posting news stories that are relevant in one way or another. Stories on cops or corruption or whatever. Every day, without fail, that man is posting articles. Oh, that's cool, Steve. You gonna stream it or you just chopping? I hate freaking asking for help because it's like I was hoping to pick up some commissions. You know, I have no problem with if I'm able to work somehow to earn from people, you know, I'm perfectly fine with that. But it's like nobody has wanted to pick up any of the work I do. Well, Steve, if you do, remember what I had asked you yesterday. I know Flathead Corruption Watch did offer me a great option of, you know, if I needed a place to go. The only downfall is, you know, Flathead, I have not seen it. I didn't get notified about it. You know, I would take up that offer in a heartbeat if, you know, if not for my kids being here. It would just kill me to move away from my kids, you know? Well, Flathead, email me, or I thought you had my number. Well, I got a new number now, so email me and I'll reply with my new number. I had to get a new number because my other phone, it was on the same plan as my mom's. And of course, when she passed, that kind of changed everything, so I had to let that one go. It's amazing how much it's affected my life when she passed. Absolutely amazing. Well, dude, you know, I'm more than happy to help you out, man. Like I said, you know, I mean, just in case, you know. Fat fingers. Yeah, just hit me up, man. Just send it now or whatever. I'll reply with my new phone number. You know, my buddy's being real cool about helping me out too. Like if I do knife work, you know, well, first he's letting me use his internet, obviously, but he's got a lot of tools. So if I need any help or whatever, like working on a knife or something, if I don't have the tool, he has it. Him and his brother-in-law have a whole freaking shop, a car garage full of tools. He's a guy, you know, I worked on off-road trucks with for years. We used to go out all the time. It was funny because he had the K5 Blazer, an 85 or 86 K5 Blazer, and I had a 78 Bronco. And, you know, I'm a Ford guy, he's a GM guy. So, of course, we are always out trying to one-up each other on the trails. And, you know, we would build it. Like, I built a 90 Bronco with 32-inch tires. So he built his 86 K5 with 35-inch tires. So I went and built my 78 Bronco with 40-inch tires. Man, those were the days, and we'd go all over, going off-roading, mud bogging, doing trails. Oh, that was so much fun. I haven't worked on a truck in years. I haven't been able to. And now he's got a forget. I think it's an '08 Chevy 1500 Silverado. It's got like a 3-inch or 4-inch lift on it. But he ended up smacking a curb in the rain, and bent all kinds of stuff. Broke ball joints, bent the upper control arm, and he actually bent the frame on his truck. Think about that. On an, those trucks, they got thick frames. He actually bent the frame on his truck, and his insurance covered it. Paid for a whole new frame for the truck. The problem is they put junkyard parts in too, like a junkyard lower control arm, things like that. So now he's dealing with the bearings went because of the mismatched parts in that. So he's outside right now changing the hub assembly. Let's see. I should get Flathead's email. I'm surprised my phone didn't knock. Oh, maybe I forgot to turn on notifications from emails. There it is. I wonder why I didn't get notified. Hey, Brain. Come on, Flathead. You know me how long now? You still call me Brain? Now, you can text me at that number, Flathead. Cop Stop Audits. Hello. Welcome. Sweet, what's up, brother? Long time no see, man. I know you've been in and out. Yeah, RAS, man. I had a 78 Bronco with a 429 big block, which is just an unstroked 460. But I had the T18 4-speed manual with granny gear, an NP205 transfer case, which is besides aftermarket, those are like the only gear-driven transfer cases. All the other ones are chain-driven. And then I had a Dana 80 rear axle, Dana 44 HD front axle swapped to a Dana 60, and I had 40-inch Super Swamper IROCs on it. The freaking tire and wheel combos were 160 pounds each corner. Imagine changing that flat tire. That truck was a beast. I can drive up to a flat wall and drive right up it. That's how much torque she had. Man, I can... If you guys hear that bang in the background, that's my buddy outside banging on his hub assembly. See, mine were powder balanced. I didn't do the whole weight balancing on those things, man. The best thing to do with tires that size, even like 33s and 35s, is powder balancing. You do a powder balance with nitro instead of air when you fill them, because the nitro doesn't change with temperature. It stays the same density. Where air, relative to moisture and all of that, can constrict or contract or expand. And then you powder balance it because there is no moisture. So the powder always stays dry, and the powder spreads out with the centrifugal force. So they always balance themselves as soon as you start moving. That's the best thing you could do is powder balancing with nitrous for filling them up, not oxygen. But you have to ask for that specifically. You got to go to a garage. Sometimes you got to go to a gas shop that sells like oxyacetylene and all that, and get a tank yourself. But it's way better than air, filling it with air and then doing weights like the lead weights or whatever. But yeah, that truck was a beast, man. That truck was my baby. Well, there's no minus. The only minus to it is if you ever get moisture in the tire, then it completely toasts the balance it. But as long as you have a good bead on there, and we used to run bead locks on ours, so I mean I could run at like 8 psi and still be fine. I never had to worry about popping a bead. But as long as you never get moisture in there, powder balancing works every time. It didn't matter how much mud I had stuck in the lugs or if I had a rock stuck in the lugs. Didn't matter. I never had to worry about my tires being out of balance. They balanced them out every time. And the nitrous charge, it's more expensive, but you never have to worry about expansion or contraction due to temperature. Yeah, that's where it comes from, Scooter. People realized that things like airplanes and jets and all that, they had nitrogen charged tires, and people started wondering why. Well, it's because when the planes are running, at 30,000 feet or whatever, it's so cold. If there was any moisture in the tires, it would freeze, and it caused cracks in the rubber. So that's where they got the idea to nitrocharge them. And then people caught on for their vehicles. I'm telling you, if you could ever nitrocharge your tires, nitrocharge them. For us, the lead weights were horrible because when you're on a trail and you're, bobbing around, bouncing off of tree roots and rocks and all that stuff, or you're spinning your tires in a mud bog, I mean, you would send lead weights flying every direction. I can't tell you how many times we saw lead weights flying off of people's tires. And then they got to drive 20 miles an hour to go home until they can get them rebalanced. Because when you got a 35, 40, 45-inch tire, that's a lot of rubber wiggling and all that. And the slightest bit off balance it's amplified exponentially. So you wanted like perfect balancing on those things. I used to have mine. I had in my '78 Bronco. I had a Dana 80 rear axle, and the spider gears were welded on them instead of having like a spool or a locker. So that's called a poor man's locker. You just weld the damn spider gears together. Well, the downfall of that is it's welded all the time. Your differential it spins at the same rate all the time. So it's like every time I turn the corner, if I did it too fast, one of the tires would be hopping off of the ground. Oh my god, that was so annoying. But the looks I would get from people, like standing on a street corner, sometimes I intentionally, I would take a corner a little bit too fast and just look at the people's faces. God, those were the days, man. I ran with a club called Team Mud Duns. No, I haven't done the baking powder thing with super glue. I'm not sure what that's all about. I mean, I use super glue for all my cuts. I don't go get stitches. I just super glue it shut. I mean, I got a giant slice on my arm. I showed Steve Pinder when it happened. I took pictures. I could see right inside my arm. And I just held it shut with a couple drops of super glue. And then, glued the rest of it shut. Yeah, I mean, it healed. It's a little gnarly looking, though, because the gap in it, because it wasn't perfect. But, oh well. I tell Flathead to send me a text, and he doesn't. Oh, I know, Rarias, man. They shut down most of the trails around here. We used to, I mean, it was like we started out, there was trails within, maybe 20, 30 minutes of us that we would go to. And every year it got worse and worse. We were driving farther and farther. And it got to the point where, most of our off-road trucks only got like 4 to 6 miles to the gallon. And we couldn't all afford a truck with a trailer to tow our off-road trucks around. So, and if you go to a trail and you end up breaking a drive shaft or a half shaft or, whatever, I've seen people would, land too hard and they would freaking bend their tie rod into a smiley face. I mean, once you do that, then you can't drive your truck home. We would do trail fixes, but a lot of times those trail fixes didn't last on the road. I mean, I knew people that would bring like 2 drive shafts. There was this one guy, he had what he called Vanzilla, this big ass 4-wheel drive van, huge. I mean, the thing had steel I-beams for bumpers. And he used to carry no less than 2 drive shafts every time he went off-roading, on top of the drive shafts that were already installed. That was the coolest freaking 4-wheel drive van I ever saw. He had 42-inch Super Swamper TSLs on that. No, sorry, he switched to the boggers. He had 44-inch Super Swamper boggers on it last time I saw it. Now picture that, a freaking 44-inch tall, 16.5-inch wide Super Swamper bogger sitting on 18-inch steel wheels. That's 200 pounds each corner. And then he had 2 he kept in the back of the van for spares. It was nuts. I mean, you're talking, 2 to 8-inch, 1,200 pounds in rubber alone that he carried around, overall. That's just crazy. He had a completely custom 10-inch lift he made. I know he took the leaf packs off of a Chevy 3500 dually, and there's a leaf spring shop here, and he took it to them and he had the springs re-arced. So basically put a steeper arc on them and then added a couple leaves to it. And that gave him the overall 10-inch lift. Well, that and a block underneath him. I think he had a 2-inch block he put underneath the leaf packs. And, he had to have custom U-bolts made. But Yeah, that's what he used for suspension. I mean, that thing was so stiff, you felt like every bug he ran over. I missed working on that freaking big block, though, that 429 I had. I wanted to stroke it to a 460, but that would have cost like 2.5, 3 grand. And then I ended up getting laid off at Xerox when they shut down their the plant, or well, it wasn't a plant, it was an office building, but they called everything a plant. But when they shut down the one that was on Jefferson Road in Henrietta, New York, I ended up getting laid off with 3,000 other people. So I had to sell it. And I didn't get nowhere near what I put into it. So these days, most off-roaders, they're either, like if you do a search on YouTube, do a search for the truck that broke the internet. That's the big one. But those are the trucks that people are off-roading with now. It's ridiculous. They got like 60-inch freaking agricultural tires on them. And that truck, if that particular truck is a dually, so it's got, dual agricultural tires in the back. That's just ridiculous when it gets to that point. Well, yeah, RS, you have to do the pinion angle block. If you're doing a lift, you're changing that uh, angle from the tail shaft coming off of the transfer case. You have to pitch that pinion. Most of us, though, we had welders and all that, so we would just cut the leaf mount off of the axle, rotate the axle a couple of degrees, and then weld it back on. And so that way you could put a flat 2-inch block. You didn't have to have an angled block, and that would give you your pinion angle. And then we would have like custom true CV joint drive shafts made, because just the double U joint ones, one U joint in each end, it would bind up from the steep pitch. So we would have the CV ones made. Yeah, but lowering the transfer case also screws up your ground clearance. We did rock crawling too. We didn't just do mudding. So we would have, big, thick steel plates, skid plates, and you wanted as much clearance as you could get. Nowadays, though, they build them big giant trucks, and they got it's a 1-to-1 drop that comes off of the transfer case, and then it's basically just two big giant gears. Or no, sorry, there's three in there to keep it going 1-to-1. But it basically takes your drive shaft input here, and the output is down here. They use them on monster trucks too. But that's what these guys are running now. And it's ridiculous, that takes all the fun out. When you got a truck that's got 6-foot tall, 5 and 6 foot tall tires on it, that just takes all the fun out of it. I mean, shit, I had a 91 Jeep Wrangler, and I left it with 33-inch tires on it. I never went any bigger than that on it. And that's what I off-roaded with, because I like the challenge. Of course, Honest Gas just gets a text I sent him hours ago. But yeah, we never lowered the transfer case. Never. Because you also got to remember, you can only lower that so much, because the reality is there wasn't no where the transfer case mated with the tail shaft of the transmission. The best thing you could do was reclock the transfer case. There's adapter plates that basically rotate the transfer case several bolts, and that would lower the tail shaft out, or the shaft output, because otherwise all you did was put longer bolts with spacers between the skid plate and where the transfer case was mounted and the frame. And if you did that, that would actually change the pitch of your entire drivetrain, your engine, your transmission, everything. And there was people who would do that and all of a sudden wonder why their freaking valve covers were pressed up against the firewall. Sorry, I'm babbling on and on about trucks. I miss it. I'm one of those people, I didn't just get a truck and pay people to work on it. I did all of it myself with my friends. That was a lot of fun in those days. First time I ever went off-roading, I went out with my 1990 Bronco. And it had bald 31-inch tires on it. And it was Easter weekend, and I got stuck at right around midnight in the mud. And that truck sat in that mud in that hole the whole weekend before we finally got it out. Ended up blowing the starter, broke a U-joint, all kinds of stuff. But that was my first taste of off-roading. Yeah, the 85s in them were nice. I mean, basically you had your 66 to 77, which were your smaller Broncos. Then you had your 78 and 79. Those were the largest Broncos they ever made. And then 80 to 96 were pretty much the same. There were slight changes, like the headlight style, the side view mirror brackets, things like that. But there was no major change between 80 and 96. And in 96, it was the final year. There was technically a 90, they call it a 96, but it was made in the beginning of 97. And that was it. They made a couple concept Broncos since then, but none of them have stood up to the name. My favorite is the 78, 79, especially 79, because that's when I was born. I want one that was built in 79. But those were the best ones. The 78, 79 Broncos were beasts. And that was before they introduced radial arms and, IFS to them. It was still a solid axle. I wouldn't mind a 66, but they're a lot of work. I sure hope he got that damn email. Okay, well, I've been on for an hour and, only had a few people in here, so if anybody needs any work done, please let me know because I could really use the work. So if you want a knife or video work or whatever, I'm here. I'll do the best I can. So otherwise, I appreciate you guys hanging out and shooting the breeze with me and reminiscing about working on trucks. I know most people find it boring, but I don't. Just kind of, it sucks that YouTube is not sending out all the notifications. So, alright, well, since nobody's even talking now, it was good seeing everybody, and a nice, excuse me, good stream test. Make sure the settings work okay. I was able to run it at 30 frames per second, so that's pretty good. Should have been a much clearer view. So, if anybody needs anything done, feel free to email me. Guess I'll talk with everybody later.